Hey, it's Ducky. Happy Valentines. It's almost Valentine's when I post this. And today we're going to be in the Chloe Rose Draw Your Own Adventure book. And today's prompt is going to be Valentine's themed. That's all the hints I'm going to give you now. I did my makeup Valentine's themed just for this video. Yeah, I hope you like it. Let's get into it. The picnic basket suddenly begins to grow and make space for more food inside. You draw your favourite snacks because what's they with jam isn't your chosen delicacy. So I have decided to do a collage for this one, and it's going to be a very gothic, romantic, Valentine's-y picnic, and this is my sketch for that. Yeah, this is probably going to take me a while, so let's get into it. So the first thing I had to make was the picnic blanket. And I don't know about you, but I know they used to do this technique at preschool. For Americans, that's like before you start school, between ages 2 and 4, where you get 2 different coloured strips of paper and then just weave them together. It's a bit fiddly, but I think it's probably much easier than trying to cut out loads of squares exactly the same size and fitting them all together. I love how these little candles came out, especially with the golden candle holders. They look so cute, but the grapes gave me such a hard time, and I still don't really like how they turned out. But I gave up on them. They were so fiddly, and cutting out a load of little circles is so difficult. A bunch of grapes are also really difficult to make look natural. Now this is a showstopper piece. The object I made the entire collage around. The cake. I love this half and half vintage cake, so I knew I had to make one for a Valentine's themed picnic. I really want to try making one if I can get my health to be a bit better in the future, although it will have to be gluten free. It was so fiddly trying to get all the decorations cut out and stuck down, but so worth it, and I'm so glad I did it. It's definitely my favourite part of this piece. It was at this moment I realised I could start outlining the pieces of the pen, and it really helped define some of the areas, and I love how it looks. I think it's definitely a new technique I'll be using going forward with my collages. I think it makes it look so much more detailed and intricate, but so much quicker than some of my other collages. Using a piece of masking tape to hold tiny collage pieces while I work on them is a game changer, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before. It's so much easier than trying to hold a piece and draw on it at the same time when it's smaller than your fingertip. You do have to be careful with this though, because some papers are too flimsy and will rip when you try removing them. I learned that the hard way. Also, this paint pen was so dried out, so I could barely get any paint out of it. So I use PVA glue for the majority of my collages, which I think I'm in the minority with that. I don't think I've ever really seen any other collage artists using PVA glue, and I can understand why. It is messy and probably not the easiest to use, but it's what I had. I had tons of PVA glue from when I was a kid that really needed using up, and when I was finally nearly finished with the stuff I had last year, we found more of my old childhood PVA glue in my nan's house. So I'm still working through that glue. I haven't had to buy any glue since I started art again. So we'll see when I need to buy glue what I'll get, but it'll probably be PVA to be honest, because that's what I'm used to now, and it's cheap. And I feel like glue sticks dry up far too easily. I loved adding white highlights, as I always do. It just brings so much life to a piece and makes it look so much more finished. I thought I'd include a little real-time footage for you. It's still been edited to cut out any boring gaps or me being mega indecisive, but I thought it would be helpful for people to see how long it can take to collage, because this video is many hours of footage cut down to what, 15-20 minutes or something? It can take a really long time to make collages. It's one of my favourite mediums, but I struggle to do it too often because of how time consuming it is, and also it makes a lot of mess. I'm hoping that maybe once I have a house and a better setup that I'll be able to do a collage more often, but currently I'm too anxious about making too much mess at my partner's parents' place, and my house has to be ready for house viewings any moment, so it's impossible for me to do it here. I'm hoping what I'm making in this real time segment is obvious, but it's little crackers for the cheese I'll be making in a minute. The most painstaking thing was rounding all the corners, but they just didn't look right with those sharp corners. I don't think any crackers have quite that sharp a corner. Now this basket I made way too big, and later on I will cut it down, but currently it is absolutely massive, and as you can see, that's where I ripped the paper on the masking tape, but luckily I'll need to trim it down later on anyway. I loved using a coloured pencil for making the wicked texture. I'm really trying to incorporate more mixed media into a collage, and this is a great way to do that. This wine bottle was an absolute nightmare to sort out. I couldn't get the shape right for the life of me. I still don't think it's right, but oh well. This baguette I really struggled with. I didn't have any bread coloured paper, and I couldn't paint any extra pieces of paper for this piece, as all my paints are packed away. So clearly that's something I need to think about when I can get them out again. I had to get my phone out to get some references up because I could not work out how to get this baguette to look right. I relied heavily on coloured pencils for this. The brown pencil mix mixed with the glue in an interesting way, and it kind of made it darker and easier to fade out, and it really worked to my advantage, to be honest. Here I am making a bouquet. This took absolutely forever. I had to cut out so much footage of me making it because this video would probably be like 5 hours long. I love how it came out, but god was it a ball ache. I don't ever want to do that again. So if I ever try or start, please remind me. I don't know about you, but I hate how commercialized Valentine's Day has become. Like, how's a day about love become all about how much money you can spend to prove you love them? I think it's really sad. It should be about spending time together, doing things for each other, handmade gifts that are full of love, and maybe a bouquet and some chocolates or something. But the gifts shouldn't be the main focus of the day. Okay, now I'm putting everything together, and this is where it just comes to life. It looks like a little picnic, and I'm so happy. You can see how indecisive I am about where to place things, but I do eventually get on with it and glue everything down. I love it so much. It definitely came out better than I was expecting. Although at this point I have forgotten to add any flames to the candles, but I will come back and do that at some point. I decided right at the end I needed a background for the picnic to sit on, so I used some paint pens to create a background, which proved really difficult because my paint markers were dying on me. I hate Poscas so much. I cannot wait to use them up so I can justify getting some brush paint markers. cut a load of little strips out of different greens and added them behind the picnic and just in front to create a more 3D effect with the grass, and I'm so glad that I did that. It was the perfect final touch. Well, except of course finally adding those flames to the candles. Okay, this is all done and I am loving how it came out. So now it's all left to do is stick it in. I am so unbelievably happy with how this came out. Just look at it. I can't believe I made this. It's so beautiful. I don't know if I should be saying that about my own art, but like, I think this might be my peak. I might have peaked. This is such an intricate piece and it only took me 2 days. I don't understand how that's possible. Normally my collages take me weeks. I am so happy with this. It came out even better than I was expecting. Let me know what you think of it. If you got this far, leave me a cake emoji and thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!